Welcome to the Ravens Ministry Podcast once again with me, your host, Duane Hatcher, and today my co-host and co-founder of the ministry, Jamie Robinette. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the stuff that she's come up with and the direction that we're going in as far as the suicide prevention aspect of it, as well as the bullying. So we're going to get into that here just very briefly today. I just want to keep you up to date, the ones that's following us and will be following us. Today I want to get my text will be from Isaiah 41:10, and it says, "I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteousness hand." With that being said, God, if you trust in Him and you believe in Him, He will uphold you and strengthen you in anything that you're going through, especially if you're down to the point, and I mean, you got to be down and listening to the devil if you are thinking about suicide. And all you got to do is trust in God, and I know that it's harder than it just saying it. But if you can dig deep at that moment and trust in Him, His righteousness, His hand will come down and lift you up. And we need to be educated on certain things as well, so that in that moment we can help. I come from, I'm not going to say victim, but at a very young age, my dad committed suicide. So I know what it's like on the other end of the spectrum, and many times in my life, which maybe one day we'll get into it, I attempted suicide. But I got through all that, and it was talking to people and really giving my life to God that helped me get through all the dark times, and they are dark times. So Jamie's been doing some research on suicide and stuff like that. So I'm going to let her explain some things that she's got and the direction that we're headed in.
Like we said, Duane, we have talked about getting into the bullying and suicide aspect with the young people. And I think that even having a strong Christian background, they are times, like you said, that the devil can approach your mind, get you at a weak spot to where those thoughts can cross your mind. And that's where we want to step in and be that extra hand that someone can reach out to, that they can call us, that we can help them, kind of that big brother, big sister that can walk you through that, be at that spot. Because a lot of times those kids feel like they're by themselves right there. Even though they have good friends, they have good Christian parents, they are in a good church, whatever, they feel like they can't express those feelings for some reason or the other. But we want to be that liaison to where they can say, hey, I'm in this dark spot. And we want to be there to get them through that. And there are programs out there that we are wanting to specialize in to get them to the next level, to where you get out of that fog, to where the devil is not beating you down. And that's not saying you're a weak Christian.
No,
it's not at all. Because, there are times, I think, in everyone's life that you're just going through some hard stuff, and everybody has thoughts of stuff, and it's tough. It's tough. But if you can have somebody to lean on, a good Christian friend, someone you look up to, someone you can count on, you can get through those moments.
Right, that's a good Christian foundation.
Right.
And I mean, it doesn't, just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you're not going to go through bad times. I mean,
No.
Just the opposite, really. Because if you are a Christian and you are living for God in the right way, then the devil is going to be more apt to attack you.
Exactly.
And if you're not being attacked, then you need to maybe look at your life and see what you're doing. Because take it, it's the word I'm used to, have a privilege, kind of. I know this may sound weird, but be privileged if some things are happening to you or you're having to go through some things. because with that, the devil is attacking you because he's worried about you, and God's allowing that to happen because he knows that you can get through it. And that's very important to know that during these dark times, especially when you're depressed and having suicidal thoughts, and we're letting the devil, and not always the devil, just sometimes our own self, we start listening to ourselves.
Right.
And a very smart pastor, Keith Conley, as a matter of fact, told me this, and I will be doing a sermon on this. If you listen to yourself, it's going to be detrimental.
Right.
The more you listen to yourself, for one, you'll talk yourself out of doing something that is good, probably, or just the opposite, you'll talk yourself into doing something that is terrible, because we're listening to ourselves and not God. Right. And it's very important to listen to what God is doing, and if it is something that is very good or trying to help you out of the situation, then 9 out of 100 it's God doing that, because the devil sure ain't going to try to talk you out of in a bad situation. And we need to be, people need to be educated on suicide awareness, as well as looking for people, how they act. And a lot of people say, well, I have heard this about the emo people. Well, they're very dark. Well, not all of them are dark. And it don't have to be people that dress dark or dress dreary to be depressed or all that. You can have your normal, everyday, run-of-the-mill, next-door neighbor that smiles and cheers and all that all day long. But in their own personal life, they're dealing with something. And there's signs to see that. And I would like to educate people of that too, of suicide awareness. Not only, talk to individuals or be a place for individuals to call so we can get them in the right direction, but to be a place to educate people to see, hey, my child is doing this, or my friend is this, and it may be that they're hiding it, and you need to try to be there for them. And even though people that are thinking about suicide don't often, the ones that are really thinking about suicide and not just for attention, are not going to come out and speak about it. Normally they just do it.
That's right.
And that's why we need to be aware of the signs that are out there. And there are definitely signs out there.
Oh yeah, they are, and like you said, it's a lot of times it's the people that it will shock you that they have done it, because they are usually the people that are over helping other people, are over friendly, and just so full of life, and they're overcompensating.
Right.
And they seem to never slow down, and it just shocks. But we want to be that person that people can say, hey, we can call them. We don't want to be judgmental. And our surroundings here, of course, everybody who has been in his house recognizes Max's sunroom, and this was our calming place, and Max would be so excited because he wanted his end to be greater than his beginning, and he has left such a legacy, and we do want to thank Earl King for letting us use this as our grounding spot. But Max we talked about this a lot of times in the past 4 years, and I'm so grateful to have spent that time with Max almost every day for 4 years and learned from that man. We had talked about suicide, and he had a friend commit suicide that he would have never thought would have, and he was going to preach his funeral. And he said he prayed about it for several days before the funeral, and he thought, I can't do it because of what the Bible said about suicide. And he said God told him, he said plainly, he finally told him, he said, you do that funeral. He said, because I'm the judge, you're not. And he said, after that, Max said, I never questioned anybody on suicide, because you don't know what their heart is. You don't know in the last minutes what they could have said, anything. You don't know where their state of mind is at.
Right.
So
we're not to be the judge.
No, that's
Period.
what he
That
said.
clearly says that.
God plainly told him, I'm not the judge. So, he was not the judge, God is. So, we just.
I'm sure there'll be people in heaven that will see that. How did they get here?
Exactly.
But anyway, so we're going to try to get some grants. It's what we're checking into, to get some grants to start these programs. And as you can see, like Jamie had said, Earl King has bought Max's home and has allowed us to be in the sunroom.
Very graciously.
And we very appreciate that, because there's so much peace here, and you can just feel God here. You really can.
Yeah.
And so we have moved from the theater. I say graduated from the theater to here.
Not that we're still not doing special things at the theater.
That's exactly what I wanted to get into. We are, for those that may be wondering, we're still going to do, probably next month, February or March, we're probably going to do another event at the theater, so we can still gather that time of fellowship and come together and have the good food that's served there, and get into a series. We're contemplating on what series that we're going to start, but once we start it, that'll be once a month type deal that we'll do the series, like Chosen or something else. We're discussing that now. So we're not done with the theater. We just moved to a different, better location to do the podcast. And this is hopefully where we're going to start doing our classes on suicide prevention and educating on bullying and life skills, which I said behind us. Hopefully in the spring and summertime will be a garden, and teaching people to learn their life skills, how to provide for themselves, going to a farmer's market, selling the stuff, knowing what it's like to handle money. I mean, we have big plans, and God has put this on both our hearts. And I know once we get where we can get to really start doing this, people are going to come, because Virginia is an area, the area we're here is definitely a Virginia in need, people in need of these type of things, especially school kids, high school kids, and middle school kids on the bullying. And with that bullying comes suicide a lot of times, like we have experienced here in Virginia last year, of that, unfortunately, of young people that should not even know the word suicide has killed herself. And we want to be able to reach out to the families if in case something that bad does happen. We want to have somewhere for the families. So what we're basically doing is going to have classes to educate, but we are also in the midst of an emergency would like to be able to, if someone calls us, to be able to get them somewhere, direct them in the right place that they can go, stay, a housing place, or whatever. We want to be able to be in association with different people that have better place, and possibly even here, if someone calls us in need, we would be set up to have them stay overnight or a couple of nights.
Yeah, to immediately diffuse that situation, to avoid any bad outcome in that situation.
Right. And we're not talking about just kids, we're talking about adults in adult situations that may be to their last limit. In any situation, from abuse to drugs to bullying to anything. Bullying is a wide range of ways. It just don't happen in school. It happens in relationship, marriages, everything. It definitely happens in. So that's what we're trying to do here, and we are trying to get grants set up to do most of that. But again, I come to you for your help as well. If you are interested in supporting the Raven Ministries, please reach out to either me or Jamie. You can email us. My email is dhatcher, my first initial, last name, HATCHER, 1086 @yahoo.com, and Jamie's email is
jrobinett.pegasus@gmail.com.
Spell Pegasus.
PEGASUS.
Okay, and that's how you can reach out to us, or on our Facebook pages, or I usually post this on Facebook. You can reach out with comments or private message me. If there's a way to write on YouTube, because this is the main YouTube channel that these go to. But either way, reach out to us. For one, if you can support us on a monthly basis or a one-time gift, 100% of the profits go towards this ministry. Or you can reach out, like I said, with a one-time gift, or you have a situation that you're in and you're needing help. And we can pray for you and go from there. But either way, please like and share this, not because we're getting paid for it. I don't even know how to set that up to make money off of this, because it can get with the, well, I can't think of the word I'm trying to use, but if you like and share, the algorithm gets it to where many more people can see this, and you never know who needs to hear these messages that are spoken on the podcast here for the Raven Ministries. Like I said, in the future here, in the next couple months, I'm going to have different pastors or people on here to talk about certain things that's maybe going on in their life, their church, or how they may be able to help as well. So I just appreciate everybody that watches these, shares these, likes these, and especially if you would, I don't have any holy water to give you, I don't have anything to offer you other than your graciousness of helping this ministry out to grow, because we need laptops, we need proper cameras, and we need material, and all that costs money, and it's not free. Unfortunately, to help people is not free. We do not take pay from this in any way whatsoever. So I'm hoping to get some grants set up, but we also need your help if you can. So with that being said, I want to thank Jamie for being here with me today. And moving forward, I'll keep you updated. Until next time, God bless you. And remember to get in a faith-based church, read your word, and pray every day. Every day. It's important to have that relationship with God. And anytime you're going through anything or any troubles that you have, if you reach out to Him, He will always lend a helping hand. You just got to accept Him in your heart. I thank you again, and God bless. Okay.